Morning, everybody. Grab a cup of coffee and a donut or three, and let's do some switching. So before we get started on the operating session, I have three things I want to tell you. Number one, I said I was going to do Oak Hill. I'm actually going to do Chillicothe this session. I need to make the swamp more swampy, which I've started on. It's not a pond. I don't want people to think it's a pond. I want people to think it's a swamp. The thing is, I really need to work on the scenery back here. You can see I've pulled the kiln and the other building out, started spreading some gravel down. I've got some ground foam here. I need to put the chain link fence up, put all that stuff up there. I'm going to put a tree or a hill or something back here, and so I really need some time to do that. So best time to do it would be just go ahead and while I'm running in Chillicothe, and that'll give me time to work on it unseen. So the second thing I want to tell you is, in real life, the yard in Chillicothe is down here. Trains come from the yard and they're heading east, and they go past ITT Grinnell General Chemical. So they're heading east when they go to Douglas Avenue. That's the way I operated this layout when I was in the other room. I had a little tiny staging yard down here. Wasn't very long, but that's the way I operated it. So when I moved the layout in here, I had to make some geographic adjustments from real life. And I said that I was going to have the yard down here. So I brought the trains out of staging yard, and they came past wherever and everything. So now that I'm operating independently, I can switch. You can see my thing I use to shoot my videos with here. Back on the fascia, that's what all these black marks are. So, but now that I'm going to operate independently, I'm going to go back to the correct method, and I'm going to basically use the bridge module as a staging yard. So the train will come into Chillicothe the correct way, into Douglas Avenue the correct way. Doesn't mean I won't show the bridge module anymore. I mean, I may occasionally run, like the Oak Hill trains, I may actually start in Chillicothe and the staging yard, just run all the way through and film it because I like the bridge module. I think I've got a lot of positive feedback from you guys. I know you like it too, so I will keep showing the bridge module. But I am planning on running the trains the correct way, the way that they actually did. Also, because I'll be within yard limits now, I'm not having some fictional branch line train. The trains will not have a caboose in Chillicothe because that was all within the yard limits. So it'll just be the switcher leaving the yard with the cut of cars and heading back to the yard with the cut of cars. The third thing I'm going to tell you about is going to be at the end of the video. So let's start watching some trains. Well, as I promised, here comes the switcher from the yard using the NW2 Kato, so I have no sound this time. So I apologize. My goal is eventually to have sound in every locomotive, but every now and then I'm going to have to run a locomotive without sound, even if I'm sort of grinding my teeth, because I really enjoy the sound. Out by the Garden River, narrowing it. So this is part one. First thing we're going to do is switch. We have to swap two boxcars at ITT Grinnell. So the first two cars behind the switcher have to be delivered, and the other two picked up. It's a beautiful August day here. Normally August is hot in Kentucky, and we've had our share of hot weather. July was very hot, but today is very, very nice. Kato switcher runs well, but it's not as smooth as the Atlas GP7. About halfway through, I started messing with the momentum a little bit, and that seemed to smooth it out some. It's something I don't normally mess with on the NCE controller. Alright, so we're going to stop and open the gate here. And unfortunately the boxcars block the view of the gate. You'll get to see me close it. Basically on the Atlas GP7, I can have it on speed step 1. Most of the time when you're running it, it's on speed step 3 or 4 when you're watching me switch, but I can get it down to 1 and really creep in to make couplings. The Kato doesn't really start moving until speed step 3, and then it sort of lurches. But again, like I said, when I messed with the momentum, it sort of helped a little bit. I just haven't run it in a while, so maybe play with it some, and hopefully it'll smooth out in the next session. But if an engine won't run slowly, it won't be on my layout. Breeze picking up. Don't know if you can hear it or not. I checked the weather forecast. It's so nice. Tomorrow morning might be a good morning to run the garden. Do some pruning if I do it. The plants have really taken off, hanging out over the tracks in a lot of places. So I'm going to post this Sunday morning, which I think will be, August 14th. I am home this week, but next Sunday I'm flying to Texas for a week, and should be home most of the month of September. So I'm hoping I can get some modeling done, because when I go to Texas, I really can't do any modeling. It's hard to pack stuff to do in the hotel room on an airplane. So just going to try to slowly push these in. Stopped it a little bit too soon, so I had to start up again, and then it went too far underneath to uncouple it. So just got to get used to this locomotive again. It's a great running little locomotive, and I will hopefully can get my friend Benjamin to add sound to it sometime. He said he's done it before, so I'd love to do it. All right, so now maybe you'll get to see me close the gates anyhow. So we're going to pull out and back onto the train, and we will switch the Team Track and General Chemical in the next session. But I do have a couple minutes at the end of the video where I sort of want to talk about something that happened to me at Indiana this past week. So bear with me if you would. Won't take too long. And so that's when I'll, always close with stay safe. So that's when I will actually close. All right, the last thing I want to tell you is the picture I just showed you. That was the 5 of us that went to the Nisbet Inn on Wednesday night. Since then, 2 of that 5 have tested positive for COVID, and 1 is very sick. It's obviously not me. So the Japanese trainers that flew into Indiana on Sunday, they have to be tested before they can get on the plane. Just like when I went to Mexico, I had to prove that I had a negative COVID test before they let me on the plane. They had to do the same thing. They had to prove that they had a negative test before they got on the plane. Landed in Indiana on Sunday. The Canadian trainer, who's in front of me, he did not have to have a proof of any COVID test. He drove across the border, but he has been fully vaccinated. He works for Toyota at the plant up there. Everyone in that picture has been fully vaccinated. So we did not know it, but Toyota's policy is if an overseas visitors come, they have to be tested for 5 days in a row, every day before they can come into the plant. So we didn't realize that. So Monday and Tuesday, they were in the plant without being tested. However, they had been tested on, Saturday or something, in Japan. So Wednesday, when we found that out, Wednesday they went and got tested. They both tested negative. We went to dinner Wednesday night, didn't think anything about it. Wednesday night, one of the Japanese trainers and the Canadian trainer started feeling ill, and they both tested positive on Thursday. Another trainer from Kentucky tested positive, but that's probably completely unrelated because they had not had hardly any contact with us. And actually they sort of felt like they were ill. They were wearing a mask on their own because they thought they might be ill. They just thought it was like allergies, runny nose. They'd done a lot of work on their farm. So, well, just to be polite to everyone, I'll wear a mask. But they had COVID too. When the positive test came on Thursday, we all 18 of us in the class had to be tested, and like I said, 3 were positive. Canadian trainer drove back to Canada immediately. He is bedridden, very ill, strong guy, used to be a minor league hockey player, tough as nails. If he's in bed, it's bad. These guys, hockey players, probably had his nose broken 1,000,000 times and teeth knocked out and everything else. So he's a tough guy. Japanese trainers were supposed to fly back today. Of course, they could not get on the airplanes with one of them testing positive, so they're stuck here for some time until they test negative and can get on the plane. So my point in this is that, this looked like a normal dinner, and everyone is just acting like COVID's over. It's not. To compound it, it's going to be this fall pretty soon. It's going to be flu season. I get a flu shot every year. Sometimes, I haven't had a serious case of the flu in years and years, whether it's because of flu shot or not, but I'm going to do whatever I can to minimize the chances. But whether you can choose to get shots or not, if you feel ill, stay home. Don't go to work and spread it to your coworkers. Try to stay away from your family. Just try to be safe and respect others around you. So I know COVID is a political football sometimes. There's no politics on this channel, so I don't want to hear any comments about COVID on here, but I'm just telling you my experience this past week. I close every video with be safe, and that originally started because of COVID. And I still say it, but like I said, be safe with the flu. Be safe with your hand tools. Be safe for elk fanning. Be safe driving. Don't text and drive. I want everyone to be safe. Live long, happy, fulfilling lives, and hopefully you'll be watching my videos for quite some time until you get bored with them anyhow. But so I'll quit. I'll get off my soapbox now, and I'll close with my normal closing. Be safe.